We're now heading into Unit 4, Systems of Equations. Still linear, but it involves more than one equation or more than one line. So you can see our last unit here, we were doing basically linear equations and inequalities. Now we're into systems of linear equations and inequalities. This is the last unit of this semester. So we'll go into the Christmas break, finishing this unit up. And then next semester, we'll start with exponential functions. So everything this semester has been linear. So basically straight line. Okay, so as we look into this unit organizer, you can see systems of linear equations and inequalities is about applying the mathematical process standards by writing systems of two linear equations given a table, a graph, or a verbal description. I'll come back to that in just a minute. By graphing systems of equations and determining solutions, and by solving systems of equations for mathematical and real-world problems. Now, for this particular unit, we're not going to go into linear inequalities, just because of the shortened time frame. That won't be covered in this. If I find at some later time we need to cover it, we'll go over that. Okay, so we have the vocabulary here: systems of equations, solution to a system of equations, infinite many solutions, and no solutions. Okay, and then we have, what are the questions we need to answer here? Can I write a linear system of equations problem? Can I graph a linear system of equations? Can I solve a linear system of equations graphically and mathematically? So let's look back at the bubbles here again. Writing system of two linear equations given a table, graph, or verbal description. Basically, a system is more than one equation. When you get into higher courses in mathematics, algebra 2, pre-calculus, and that, you'll find that you can have many equations in a system. For algebra 1, we only do 2 at a time. So we'll have 2 equations to make up a system. But as you know, a system can be made up of thousands and thousands of different equations. So there you go. If I take a car, that's a system, and it's got thousands of subsystems in it: exhaust system, fuel system, electrical system, and so forth. But a system are things that work together. If I take that car and take it to pieces and spread it all around this classroom here, I still have the car, I still have all the pieces, but it's no longer a system because they're not connected. They don't work together. So a system is 2 or more equations. A linear system is 2 or more linear equations working together to solve a particular problem. Okay, so this first bubble here, I can give it to you in table form, I can give it to you in graph form, or I can give you a verbal description, basically word form. And you should be able to write. That's one of the key things in this unit. Can I write a linear system of equations given any of those things? Can I graph them? Can I graph those same equations? Sure I can. If I can graph one linear equation, I can graph 2. And whether you're using Desmos or the Inspire calculator or any other kind of calculator, if it's a graphing calculator, if you can graph one linear equation, you can graph more than one. So the whole idea is, can you solve it? And there's a real easy way of solving systems of equations. And then the third bubble, system of equations for mathematical, can I solve systems of equations? So basically, can I write it? The first bubble. Can I graph it? The second bubble. Can I solve it? The third bubble. And that's basically what the 3 questions down bottom say. Can I write it? Can I graph it? And can I solve them? If I can do that, I have this unit down. It's not hard. Okay, if we look along the left side there under block 8, because this is a shortened school year, because of the circumstances we're given, it moves relatively quickly. but this is not a hard unit because there's nothing in here that you haven't seen before. You understand slope, you understand y-intercept, you understand intersection, okay? So if we look down that left side under block 8, we're launching, and then we'll give you a couple videos on linear systems and how they work in a small assignment. Word problems are kind of broken up into 3 different types of problems. And so we cover them under 3 different days with 3 different assignments. But if you can master those, you've got it. And then we look at graphs and tables, just a few other things to pick up that may signify a system of equations without giving you the actual words or equations to go with it. Then we'll do some practice problems, and then we have the unit test that last week before Christmas break. Okay, if I look down at the vocabulary, system of equations, basically 2 or more equations that work together to solve a particular problem. The solution to a system of equations, well, you find out it's the intersection of the 2 lines, or the point of intersection, that's the solution. Infinite many solutions, sometimes there are certain cases, and we'll get into that, where you have infinite solutions and then no solutions. Sometimes there's cases where you have no solutions, and we'll get into that. That's included in 4.1 and 4.2. But basically, this is pretty much review as far as linear systems. We're just now putting 2 equations together and making it a system. And that's pretty much all there is to the launching of this particular unit organizer.